Welcome to Psychiatric Nursing Lecture. In previous class, we have seen about the alcoholism. Today, we are going to discuss the other psychoactive substance use disorders. So, we all know there are different types of psychoactive substances like cannabis. We know the CNS stimulants. We know hallucinogens. We know opioids. So, these substances, what kind of reaction it will cause, that we are going to see now. So let's see with the first substance called opioids. Opioids also known as opiates. These substances have the effect similar to that of morphine. Opioids are two types. Basically, it is available in the semi-synthetic chemical derivatives. Also, it is available in the fully synthetic material. So the basically the heroin and morphine are comes under the first category, semi-synthetic chemical derivatives, whereas the pethidine and methadone comes under the second category, that is fully synthetic. So when a person use the opioids for a long period, they will develop tolerance and also develop dependence. So because of the chronic use of opioid drugs, the pain threshold in the client will be decreased. As a result of that, even a small even a small amount of pain stimulus appears to be very big for them. So that is one of the important thing about opioids. The next thing is this opioid is not going to be a life threatening, it's not going to cause any life threatening complication like alcohol, but these symptoms will develop withdrawal intoxication effects and it will produce discomfort in the clients. The next thing about the common opioids available, commonly we know about heroin, morphine, pethidine, oxycodone, and pentazocine. Thus, morphine is taken in the oral as well as injected form. Pethidine is also taken in both oral as well as intravenous route. Oxycodone is available in the oral route. Also, a person can take oxycodone through rectal route. Pentazocine also available in oral as well as injected. Now let's see the opioid intoxication signs and symptoms. So you all know what is intoxication. So taking a small amount of drug when that going to enter the blood level and which produce the abnormal side effects that will cause, that is known as intoxication effects. So the common opioid intoxication effects are analgesia because this drug mainly given for reducing the pain. So analgesic effect will be there and there will be euphoria, a state of happiness, extreme happiness, and meiosis, pinpoint pupils, constipation, sedation, itching, redness of eyes, respiratory depression, reduced cough reflex, and there will be decreased level of consciousness, hypotension, and bradycardia. So these are all the common intoxication symptoms associated with opioid drugs. Next, we are going to see the pharmacological management of opioids. So basically, a person comes with opioid intoxication or opioid withdrawal, then first we need to give the supportive therapy and the symptomatic treatment should be started and respiratory distress will be there. So maintain the airway and regulating the breathing is very important for patient. And drug which we give is opioid antagonist, that is naloxone. Naloxone is the drug of choice for treating the opioid intoxication. So the opioid intoxication effect will be reversed because of this opioid antagonist. And naloxone should always given in the case of respiratory depression. Naloxone should be given in the respiratory depression patient. Now let's see the sedative hypnotic drug. Commonly, we know benzodiazepine taken for good, getting a good sleep, and it has a calming effect, and it is anti-anxiety drug. When a patient is taking benzodiazepine, suddenly we cannot stop the drug. This drug has to be stopped gradually. The dose has to be reduced gradually. Otherwise, it will cause withdrawal side effect when you suddenly reduce the dose or suddenly stop taking the benzodiazepine drug. Let's see the intoxication signs and symptoms related to benzodiazepine. The first one is euphoria. Euphoria, excessive happiness. Second one is disinhibition. So in disinhibition, the patient will not have any kind of protective measures, very careless. They will be very aggressiveness, and they will do all kind of activities without any kind of focus, without any kind of concentration, and apathy, that is flat mood, and there will be sedation, chronic, for long time they will be sleeping. Also they use abusiveness. Sometimes they used to take the drug and they use verbal abuse, physical abuse, and they have become very aggressiveness towards others, and their mood is not stable. There will be lability of mood, and attention is impaired. Anterograde amnesia is commonly seen. Anterograde amnesia is a type of memory loss. The patient cannot remember the recent things. They have good old memories, but those things which happen in day to day life at present they cannot remember. And there will be impaired in the psychomotor performance. Unsteady gait and slurring of speech are common. Nystagmus, you know that abnormal eye movements and decreased level of consciousness. Erythematous skins, lesions or blisters over the body is commonly present. Hypotension, hypothermia, and depression of the gag reflex all present in the sedative hypnotic intoxication. The next one is sedative hypnotic withdrawal. Sudden reduction of or sudden cessation of the benzodiazepine drug leads to withdrawal side effects. Usually, this drug is taken for treatment for up to 6 weeks. So, by the time the own body develops the adaptation, that is a neuro adaptation to the drug is developed. So, after cessation of this drug, withdrawal symptoms starts. So, that will start around 1 to 6 weeks from the last dosage of the drug. Sometimes the symptoms may be in the patient for at least 6 months to 1 year period. So usually the end period of the duration, the signs and symptoms gradually decrease. So next, the pharmacological management of sedative hypnotic withdrawal is oxazepam 80 milligram per day is given. So next substance what we are going to see is psychostimulant intoxication. These are the stimulant drugs which stimulates our central nervous system, and have the peripheral sympathomimetic action. So by this action, they affect our psychomotor performances, and these drugs are oftenly taken to have the euphoric effect. And these drugs also taken for increasing the sense of well-being and to have the increased energy and to improve our confidence and to improve the cognitive and psychomotor performances. These drugs are commonly taken. Mostly the medical professionals abuse this drug to have a better performance in their career activities. Amphetamine, also called as speed, cocaine, also called as coke and snow, methyl amphetamine, it is called crystal meth or speed or ice, methylphenidate or nicotine. These are the common psychostimulants we know that cause abuse, that is abused by many peoples. The intoxication of psychostimulants. that cause increased blood pressure, pulse, respiration temperature, dry mouth, suppression of appetite, increased alertness, pressure in the speech, and enhance self-confidence, euphoria, acceleration. That is also one type of elevation of mood. And mood swings will be present. Mood will be swing between the manic and hypomanic stage. Paranoia, suspicious thoughts comes, and the pupils are enlarged during the excessive intake of psychostimulant drugs. Next, withdrawal of psychostimulants. So withdrawal usually occurs between 8 to 20 hours after the last dosage. So any amphetamine or cocaine withdrawal is not going to be a life-threatening complication, not going to cause life-threatening complication, but it leads to depression. So during the time of depression, suicidal thoughts arise commonly that leads to the suicide, and possibly death may occur in the client. Suicidal ideation is very dangerous. How to treat the psychostimulant withdrawal symptoms? So we used to have the drug called buprenorphine. Buprenorphine or fluoxetine are very effective, and we should go for long-acting benzodiazepine. So example is diazepam. So these are the common drug which we give for treatment of psychostimulant withdrawal and intoxication effects. And antipsychotic and antidepressant drugs are given to decrease the craving effect. The next substance which we are going to see is cannabis. Cannabis is the generic name given in the psychoactive substance which is found in the marijuana plant. In marijuana plant, there is a psychoactive substance present. That substance name is called cannabis. The plant name, scientific name of marijuana plant is called Cannabis sativa. The psychoactive effect of cannabis is caused by a chemical substance present in the plant. That chemical substance is called tetrahydrocannabinol, THC, tetrahydrocannabinol. So this cannabis is having two types of effect, stimulant effect as well as depressant effect is commonly present. So there are different preparations of cannabis are available. Bong intoxication and withdrawal symptoms. So intoxication is going to cause euphoria, sedation, antiemetic, hyperphagia, that is tendency to eat more, hyperphagia, memory deficits, conjunctival injection. Conjunctival injection means redness of the eyes. The person who have intoxication of cannabis or withdrawal, they will have red eyes. It looks like the eyes are inflamed. Ptosis, dropping of eyelid, tachycardia, and psychosis commonly present. And withdrawal problems associated with cannabis are dysphoria. Dysphoria is like opposite to euphoria, like unpleasant mood. Anxiety, insomnia, nausea, anorexia, and headache are common. So these are the common withdrawal symptoms of cannabis. The next is how to treat the cannabis disorder. So the medical management is same like psychostimulants. So what drug we give for psychostimulants like buprenorphine hydrochloride. So the same drug as well as this antipsychotic antidepressants also can be given to reduce the craving effects. So next we are going to see the next substance is tobacco. Tobacco abuse is very common among Indian people, and tobacco contains 4,000 chemicals. The smoke of the tobacco contains 4,000 chemicals, and in that 43 chemicals were found to be very poisonous, and some of the chemicals proved to cause cancer. That chemicals are nicotine, tar, and carbon monoxide. So these three chemicals which is present in the nicotine found to cause cancer. Oral cancer, throat cancer are more common in the tobacco abuse patients. So the first substance is nicotine. Nicotine is a short active psychoactive drug. It is a short active psychoactive drug, and this causes addiction among smokers. The strength of addiction is said to be powerful comparing to that of heroin. So those who take heroin gets less addicted comparing to those who take smoking with nicotine substance. And nicotine is a very poisonous substance. Even you swallow one drop of pure nicotine, that will kill an adult. It is that much poisonous. Now let's see the tar. It is present in the cigarette burns. Tar is released, and this tar causes the lung and throat cancer in smokers. So lung and throat cancer is from the substance called tar. Next one is the carbon monoxide. Excessive level of carbon monoxide in the blood is typical in smokers is very common. In the typical smokers, we can found the blood contains more amount of carbon monoxide, and that will increase the risk of getting the heart disease and atherosclerosis, hardening of the arteries, and other this was circulatory problems are very common. So this is about the substances present in the this one tobacco. The next one is nicotine addiction symptoms. Exam question will come. What are the symptoms associated with nicotine addiction? So the common seven symptoms. First one is the person developed tolerance to nicotine. So because of this, they need more and more amount of nicotine substances to get the pleasurable effect. And withdrawal symptoms occurs once they stop smoking. Smoking more than usual, that is another symptom. They need to increase the amount of cigarettes they smoke per day. Persistent desire to smoke despite efforts to decrease intake. So they will be thinking that we should not smoke, but the efforts will not be a successful one. The tendency to smoke will increase more and more. Next one is extensive time spent on smoking and purchasing tobacco. So very severe case, they spend all the money and times to purchase tobacco products and for smoking itself. Next one is because of that continuous smoking, they do not participate in any social activities. They don't go for job. They leave the job in between, and they will have no recreational activities. In every activities, they will be uh, exit and they will go for only smoking because that gives them more pleasure. And continuing smoke, even though they know that it is not good for health, they keep on smoking. That is also another symptoms associated with nicotine addiction. Now let's see the nicotine withdrawal symptoms. So any person who suddenly stop or gradually stopping, that is okay. So if suddenly nicotine, the tobacco substances are not available, they develop the withdrawal symptoms. First one is intense craving for nicotine. So very seriously they search for the availability of the substance. Anxiety and depression are more common. Drowsiness, trouble in sleeping, feeling tense, restlessness, frustration, disturbed concentration, and increased appetite are the very common symptoms associated with nicotine withdrawal. Next is management of nicotine addiction done by two common methods. One is we give NRT, that is nicotine replacement therapy. So it is coming in various forms. Nicotine replacement therapy we administer through various methods like nicotine patches. So it is applied on the skin, over the skin, nasal spray, nasal inhaler, and nicotine chewing gum are available. And nicotine, this one replace therapy is very useful for a person who are dependent to the nicotine. The next management is by drug Zybon, that is bupropion hydrochloride. So it is a non-nicotine based therapy, and we also administer atypical antidepressant drugs to the patient who is suffering from nicotine addiction. The next substance is hallucinogens. Hallucinogens, also known as psychedelics. Psychedelics, also called as hallucinogens. This is known as psychedelics because it has psychedelic effect. So it gives alteration in our sensory perception. This drug alters our sensory perception, and this is available. These substances are available in the synthetic chemicals, and some are available in the natural substances. So these substances basically alter our perception, and it alters our thinking pattern, and it changes our mood and behaviors. So commonly hallucinogens causes illusion and hallucination. So illusion, that is false understanding of the stimuli. And this one phencyclidine. Phencyclidine is a common substance like lysergic acid diethylamide. So these are the two substances commonly the best example for hallucinogens. Now let's see the next substance which cause the dependencies. The next substance which will cause dependencies. Sorry, before that, the hallucinogen intoxication symptoms and withdrawal symptoms. So intoxication symptoms are noticed, withdrawal symptoms are not described anywhere so far. Intoxication symptoms are euphoria, anxiety, panic reaction, perceptual abnormalities like illusion, derealization, and incoordination movements and tremors, tachycardia, blurred vision. Because visual hallucination, auditory hallucinations are more common, dilated pupils and diaphoresis, that is excess amount of sweating. These are the common intoxication symptom associated with hallucinogens. Next is the solvents. Solvents are the substance very volatile in nature, and these substances are inhalants. These substances vaporize in the air, and it causes high feeling when the fumes are inhaled. So any person who inhale the fumes of these substances, they get a very extreme high feeling of happiness, euphoric effects. The term commonly we are using the glue sniffing. Glue sniffing or huffing is commonly used to cover all forms of inhalants. So inhalants commonly these girls commonly get addicted to the nail polish remover and gas smell, petrol smell, and camphor smell. So these are the commonly solvents and varnish paint smell. So these are the things comes under solvents. Examples are inhalants and volatile substances. And these products are inhaled mainly through the nose and mouth. And this group of gases particularly present nitrous oxide are the highly volatile compounds which cause addiction. So this is about the other psychoactive substances which cause addiction, which cause intoxication and withdrawal symptoms. So we have completed our unit of psychoactive substances disorders, and only the nursing management is left. I'm not going to teach the nursing management through the video. So in the clinical posting, the very important part is to assess the patient, and we want to make the nursing diagnosis and make a care plan. So read the nursing diagnosis and the plan, the action to be implemented for patient from the textbook. That will be very helpful for you to develop a care study care plan for the patient, and in the practical exam also it is going to be very helpful for you. So in next video, we will start a new topic. Then that will be schizophrenia. We will start. So this is all about the psychoactive substance use disorders. Thank you. Thanks for watching this video. Take care. Bye bye.